What you got going on over there? Random rambling, it's a lot over here, so just keep up. Welcome to my life, be like real life, told by QB. What it look like this week? We got an hour for you to save the world. Let's go. I'm so happy to have you here.
And we're back. Like I never left. Maybe. Sorta. Kinda. We're back. I told y'all I was gonna get back to this. A day late, never a dollar short. Nevertheless, I'm here. So welcome back. Welcome here. Hey y'all. What's up? Whatever salutation you would like. My life be like this week, tumultuous as usual. Um, of course, life is crazy right now for me. This week, I had a whole lot of death, whole lot of people dying. I'm like, bro, who, what? I mean, yeah. This last maybe, this started before, my parent and step parent died. Like I would say roughly around about May of 2024. It seemed like people just started dropping like flies. But I'm gonna tell you, in these last about 7 months, woo, I'm like, oh gosh, ooh. So yeah, it's been rough. I have a lot of people around me really grieving, very impacted. So if anything, y'all just be gracious to people. It's a lot right now with this economy hitting the way it's hitting, with this administration hitting the way it's hitting. This we live in this, I would say, this vitriol vile vomit of foolishness. Like, it costs you nothing to be kind or just move along. Like, you don't have to contribute to the evil that's going on in this world because it's manifesting itself. It don't need help. I promise you. The evil around don't need help from you. So if anything, be kind, be gentle, be patient. People are really on the edge. I am one of those people. This is how I can speak from this. It doesn't take much. It's not going to take much. And what I don't want people to do is start, because mental health is declining rapidly. What I don't want somebody to do is to do something that they're going to regret because they just snapped. But I will tell you, that mind frame is right there on the cusp of coming out. So if you think that you can walk around here and be this, that, and the third and think somebody won't snatch your wig and clock your teeth, baby, try it. I promise you, it costs nothing to be quiet, move on, nothing to be kind, be patient, or anything. These things don't cost anything. Some of y'all are going to have to learn that it's not about you. It's really not about you. And this is going to get into this topic that we're going to talk about today, because some of you have this complex, like everything is about you. It has to go your way or no way, hit the highway. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. It's okay to be kind. It's okay to be patient. It's very much okay for you just to shut up and move on. Some of you feel like you have to have the final say so, or have something to say, a clap back, a wet back, or whatnot. And you don't have to. You don't have to be the center of the focus or the attention every single time. It's okay if you don't. Because let me tell you what happens when you're not the center of attention. Nothing. 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 Nothing happens. Attention seeking is a hell of a drug, and I wish some of you would come out of it. I don't know why my throat is doing the absolute most. Okay, throat, come on now. We got some pods to record. My gosh. So, anywho, um, that's life, and it's life. Like I said, I'm gonna post my video and stuff to Facebook and stuff today. I recorded it and posted it to TikTok, and I had a whole bunch of people that keep asking things that I had already said no to. So if you read my GoFundMe and you listen to my video, please note this: I cannot file bankruptcy. I do not have enough debt to file bankruptcy, debts that they consider to be bankruptable. I guess that's the word you would say. Um, and yeah, like it does. And two, I said I didn't want to file bankruptcy because I know that right around the corner, I have things that I want to do and purchase and stuff, and those things and those things require you to not have a bankruptcy on your credit, lien, bankruptcy, judgments, stuff like that. So I don't want to do that and put myself even further behind the gun that I already am. Two, y'all, I have a child that I advocate for disabilities. Of course, my child gets SSI. She gets the maximum. I think what y'all are misunderstanding is I only make $1,200 a month. And when I say that I only make 1,200, some of you is like, oh, you make $1,200 a pay period. You get paid twice a month, so you make $2,400. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I make $1,200 a month on my job. And it's a job that I can't give up because I don't have a babysitter. And so people are like, well, you should get waivers, or you should do this, or you should do that. It's not working out. What I want y'all to understand is the people that get paid to take care of their kids don't have full-time jobs. I have a full-time job. When you decide to do those programs where you get paid to take care of your children, and that's not enough money, because I know somebody who does that or who did it full-time, and they end up losing their other services. So no, it's not something I want to do. Services that I really need, like I really, really need them right now. So it's not something that I want to do right now because I have a plan. When you decide, and it seems fairly easy to, because they don't explain the whole thing to you. When you decide to take on one of those, it's called the Gap or whatever, Georgia Gap or whatever it's called, where you get paid for taking care of your disabled child, it only works when you don't have another job to take care of your child, because what they ask you to do is follow a schedule as if you were a in-home or home health care nurse, and you have to do these specific things, and you're under the supervision of another nurse, LPN, etc. It's not just I collect this money and I just sit. There are very specific tasks, benchmarks, inspections, and everything. And I know me, I ain't trying to be on nobody's real schedule unless it's me sitting down on the job with nobody looking over me, which is why I'm going to work from home or whatever. And subsequently, these people have been losing their other services, like their Medicaid and other things. It gets stupid and sophisticated. There's a lot of stuff happening. I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'm not trying to do is lose stuff trying to gain stuff or whatever. I know when I get my salary, I'm probably going to lose. Um, when I get my full salary, I probably am going to lose my Social Security and Christian's Medicaid or whatever, or maybe not. It doesn't matter at this point. But what I can't do without a full salary is lose stuff and be worse off than what I was, if that makes sense to you. Because that's too much. I hope y'all understand that. I hope. I hope this makes sense to y'all. I hope. I hope. Like, I really hope this makes sense. So that's why I haven't applied for it, because I know about 5 or 6 people who are really struggling or who have struggled with that program. And it's like, yeah, if I would have known the things that I know now, I would have never done that. It sounded attractive until it actually started happening. And I don't want that. I never really wanted anybody inside of my home like that or whatever, because Christian is loud. People perceptions are one way or the other. People, like, for example, one person um that somebody I know that's getting the program, one of the supervising nurses actually called CPS on them, because she was like, well, I'm concerned about XYZ ABC. Although the investigation was unfounded or whatever, and they did nothing, it's the fact that I let you into my home. I trusted you. You're supposed to be here to supervise me. The issue that you brought up was not even a real issue. You just felt like XYZ ABC. We have a habit of routine. Y'all know with Christian, I'm pretty free at home. I have demands placed on her, but I'm pretty free at home or whatever. And she gonna do whatever she wanna do at home, which is why I can't have a roommate. But she should be allowed to be in her space and be herself at home. She shouldn't have to bound and confound and sit and do whatever she wanna do at home. She has her expectations, she has her rules. But some people don't understand special needs parenting or special needs kids, and y'all will be surprised. There are a lot of special need parents that get CPS called on them for no reason, and it's like, uh, babe, you call for real on this? This is what you call for, and it's because of lack of understanding. So I'm not trying to open up a can of worms. I'm not trying to open, especially this, and I don't want anybody in this house to get hurt that don't belong in this house, like a nurse or something, because you were doing something crazy. Y'all don't believe me. There are a lot of unqualified people looking after special needs kids, and it's concerning. And I don't think you get to interview these people or anything. And working in long-term care, CNAs or whatever, working in a nursing home is much different than working with special needs kids, young adults, etc. And what you do in a nursing home, you can't do with these kids. And a lot of times they do this, whereas you do in a nursing home, it might work with your elderly dementia patient, etc. Not gonna work with a kid. And I don't want to open up cans of worms that I can't close back up. And I feel like that's what happened based on the conversation that was had with that person that happened to, is that they have been in long-term care with elderly adults, with adults, and things that happen when adults don't happen with children. And especially when you're talking about cultural and stuff like that, there are some of my colleagues that feel as if some different parenting methods are abusive, and to me they're not. It's effective and it works, and they'll cry and say, I could never do that to my child. I feel like you should call, that should be a warrant to call defense. And it's not. So with this being my house, I can't, and I don't want to start losing things, because one of my dear friends is going through this, where she's lost a lot of the services that she had because of her getting those gap funds, and she's scrambling trying to figure out how to get insurance, her child's medicine, and everything. And her child's a lot more critical because she's a seizure baby and everything else. And this whole gap situation has messed up a lot, a lot of stuff for her. So that's where I'm not trying to be, in a worse place than when I am. So no. And then somebody else bought up Medicaid comp waivers, etc. I've applied for those. I didn't get them. I've been denied for comp waivers. I don't know why. But comp waivers, as I understand them, is not a reliable it's not a reliable uh it's not something you would use as a babysitting a job. First you have to find somebody that accept comp waivers. That's the first thing. And I don't think it can be used from this is from my understanding. I don't think it's reliable enough to be used as um like a babysitting service unless it's being used in a facility such as like how some of the adults around here go to Rutledge um adult daycare center for people with intellectual and physical disabilities, unless it's something like that, because I know they take waivers at Rutledge. That would be the only way to do it. There is no center like that for kids like Christian, because if they did, I would have her in it. But under the advisement of several people I've talked to, interviewed about different things that I know, and I'm about to get to that, it's not something that will be feasible for my situation because there's not a like a center based person. I would have to go find a person, which is I had this problem a lot before the person that was keeping Christian decided not to keep people no more, which is she wasn't that unreliable. I think maybe once or twice I wasn't able to get childcare because she was sick, etc. But in the diehard position that I'm in, I can't afford to not have somebody there. So I really do need somebody center based. I could take an individual or whatever, I really can, but they gotta be super reliable. Super reliable. And great if they have a backup plan. But comp waivers aren't feasible for my situation. Comp waivers in that capacity is really just feasible for people who have access to like I know years ago, and they got shut down on the other side of Atlanta. They actually had a special needs daycare center, and maybe if they had for children, and maybe if they had that or something like that close to here, that would work for me. And if they accept comp waivers, and I think that place actually did accept comp waivers, that would work for me. Even if I had was able, because I have an income enough where low enough because I had caps, um, and I lost my caps because I didn't have center based care anymore after Christian got dismissed from daycare. So I know I qualify for caps. I'm actually at a lower income now than what I was when I lost my caps. So um I know that would actually work out. Caps would actually work out for me if I had it. But again, I don't have center based daycare for Christian or organization based daycare for Christian. So those things are not feasible for my situation. That's why I work for the school system because I don't have a sitter. And so people's like, oh, well, you can get a summer job or you can get a job where doing Christian, another job, just a better paying job and just get it on the same hours as Christian. The problem is, y'all, who gonna keep her in the summertime? Who gonna keep her on like breaks, like Christmas break? I don't have people. I think some of y'all think I just have short term people. You're not listening. I don't have care at any point in time. I have somebody that I can call for like a onesie twosie, but I don't have anybody where I think some of y'all are under the impression that I have onesie twosies that they can do it all the time. No, most people that keep Christian teach school. So they're working the same schedule. Some of them have, slightly differences. Some of them homeschool their kids, and if they homeschool, they have other things to do too. So I don't have the flexibility y'all think I have. Also, me moving to another job means that I would lose it probably. Y'all don't understand. I've said this like 3,000 times. I am have taken a leave without pay hit significant hit multiple times and I mean multiple times since the school year began. Like every paycheck I've had since September, I think, has had leave without pay on. Even if it was nothing but an hour or two. I have a check on there with like almost 20 hours of leave without pay. It was when I was home the week with Christian sick because I don't have time. I'm going to the hospital for me. I'm going to the hospital for Christian. Friday, I got extremely sick at work. I had to come home. That was 5 more hours. And of course, little Miss Sassy Pants emailing, well, she doesn't have any time. I know that already. I know that already. You don't have to reiterate things that I already know. Like I can't with that. Don't let me get started with that little sassiness. Like I don't like when if you don't want to be a people person and you don't have a very kind attitude and a nice approach, stay out of HR or places where you have to interact with people or help people on their job. You ultimately piss them off in a situation, and I don't care who it get back to. I feel like there are some of the nastiest human interactors and human resource professionals I've ever seen sometimes. Like, it's okay. You don't have to be nasty to people. If I ask you a question or if I need to know something, there's a very nice, real tone. You don't have to be nasty over email because people can understand emails. When we call, you don't have to be nasty. But I feel like this place has some of the nastiest people that have to help people. And I'm like, you shouldn't be a benefit specialist, HR person, bookkeeper, or anything, secretary, or anything with that kind of attitude. Because literally, I just need to know, so I'm going to ask a question. Your tone does not have to be that way. Just saying. Like, if you don't like it, go find a profession where you don't have to deal with people. Like, eh. What Ariana say? Yuck. Like, let's get our lives together. You don't have to be nasty to people all the time. Like, it's okay. Chill out. If we get on your nerves, then this probably not the profession for you because adults will have questions. Things change all the time. It's okay. Breathe or just go somewhere else and find another. I don't know what else to tell you. I have a business degree and it qualifies me to probably get a job in HR, and I could never be treated the way I could never treat people the way I've been treated in different places in adult management at my current employer. It's rough. My first day filling out my application, filling out my hire packet, I was like, oh gosh, yeah, yeah. It's some rough people that work in adult people management in a place where these adult people have to supervise, care, and lead kids. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. But anywho, so let me get not off that tangent. So those are the things that I'm fighting. So if I was to go get another job, I probably would lose it because you have to be on a job a year for FMLA, and I have to go to the doctor. Christian have to go to the doctor. Christian gets sick, I get sick, and starting this whole year with starting medication and all the things, like I have been sick more than a little bit, or at the doctor more than a little bit, or these doctors, with a lot of practices are closing. If you have a child that has lots of needs, like my child has, there are a lot of these specialty practices that have closed, combined, stop taking certain insurances, etc. And so you have to fumble and run around and run around and run around and stuff. I'm the victim of that now, and the availability you used to have, they don't have, etc. So that's a whole nother fight in itself. Like, I try to get Christian's appointments for the most part late, early enough where we could just do a half day. Virtual is my first option if it can be done virtual, etc. And all the time it doesn't work like that. So yeah, that's another battle to fight. I want different I want change. I want a lot. And that's why I said the best option for me is to eliminate my mortgage and this debt so that I can deal with, because without my mortgage and this debt, I'll have room to do the things that I need to do with just the little money that I bring in, which is what, just $2,000, really? And $2,000 is not a lot of money with the amount of bills, debt, and everything else I have. I mean, my house note and my car note together is $1,300. I hadn't paid the lights, hadn't paid the internet, I hadn't put gas, I hadn't put insurance. And we all know in Georgia, insurance is one of the highest things that you have to pay. So that's another, like, it's a lot, y'all. It be a lot. It be a lot. And I hope y'all understand me. I really hope y'all understand me. And I speak on my insurance, and I hadn't even went to see how much they're gonna how much, because I have to do a renewal. I hadn't even went to see how much it's gonna go up, and I feel like me um being me being oh, it hadn't updated yet. Me being 36, no accidents, no tickets or anything. The amount I pay for insurance is insane. It's insane. Like, I don't have accidents. I've been with the same insurance company now since 2017. It's the cheapest thing I can find, and I still don't understand why I have to pay so much. And yes, I've had to raise my deductible on it just so I can afford it. Because why am I paying this much for insurance? Why? Why? And I have a feeling it's gonna go up again because it went up already. And I'm like, what do you want us to do? Like, what do you want us to do? It's insane. I'm not even ready to see how much that's gonna cost. So with costs going up and up and up, and now gas, and it's not like I'm having just commute home and work. Like, I have to go to Atlanta. I have to go to Sandy Springs. I have to go to Dunwoody. I have to go to Decatur. I have to go out sometimes to Fayetteville, Stockbridge. These are where me and Christian Doctors at. Peachtree City. I already almost work in Peachtree City, which is what I hate, which is I never wanted to work out that far. Y'all know me, I didn't want to work past Walmart because it consumes a lot of gas and a lot of time to get that way, to get out east of 85 coming from my house. So I burn a lot of gas that I wasn't burning. I burn it in traffic now every day. It takes me sometimes 35 minutes to get home. Y'all, 35 minutes from my house, I can get to Atlanta and back. But because the traffic is so horrible, like the other day, I had to cut through White Oak subdivision to get on Lower Fayetteville to come home because for some odd reason, Bullsboro was at a stop from Baker Road to the bypass. Y'all know how long it took me 20 minutes. 20 minutes. 20 minutes to get from Baker Road to the summit. That's, I don't even think that's a whole real mile. I don't. It might be a mile, it might be a mile and a half. But that's ridiculous for this to be a city. That's why everybody in Newnan say, no, we're full, go home. Like, the infrastructure here wasn't built for that. And it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm one of the people that have been around here for a while. Been here since 1998. And it was never this bad. This is why I'm a proponent of moving my desk away from outside, because I never understood logistically why they would put the alternative school the furthest out from the center of the actual county. Put it in the middle of the county. Don't put it out in Peachtree City. Because to me, Thomas Crossroads, you there. If you look at some of the apps, it's called West Peachtree City. It's Sharpsburg. It's West Peachtree City. Like, it's a lot. And even in the mornings, if I don't leave on time, like if I don't leave dead up 6:50, 7 o'clock, if I'm accidentally like Friday morning, I got stuck looking for my keys because they had fell down in between something and I didn't see them. And when I left here, it was like 7:10, which is to go those little 8 miles. I should be able to go those 8 miles, you know, in no time. I literally pulled up at Thomas Crossroads right at 7:27 by the chins, by the hair of my chinny chin chin, hairs of my chinny chin chin. When if I go out there right now and drive to Thomas Crossroads, what time it is? It's 10:51. I would be in Thomas Crossroads no later than 10, no later than 11, probably 11:07, 11, and I'm not speeding either. Probably 11:07 no later than 11:10. It be taking a long time for nothing and everything. Shouldn't even take that long, actually. I could probably get to Thomas Crossroads in 15 minutes. So what is it now? It's, I would still say 10. So 10:05, 11:05, 11:05. Should be there by 11:05. 11:10 and 11:15 is just late and crazy. Um. So yeah, gas, everything is shooting up. Like I tell people all the time, I have a spreadsheet with all my bills in it, and it don't include gas, groceries, or anything. It's just the bills, and I don't bring enough money in. Reiterate that again. The money is not there. It's not a budgeting issue. It's a lack of money issue. That's another thing that everybody's missing. Well, you probably have enough money. You just don't know how to budget. Babe, I have my bills in a spreadsheet with formulas in it, and I have the money that I always adjust the money, how much money my check is. So when I find out how much my check is going to be next week, when I get paid on the 31st, I'm going to put it in. And it's going to have a significant, it's been in the negative. And it's even now further in the negative on months like this because I have to pay my $105 trash bill. And see those kind of costs, insane. We went from paying a 40, 50, $55 trash bill to now $105 for the same service. And I'm gonna tell you, the customer service with this trash company for the city of Newnan is poor. It's poor. It's poor. People said that they hated GFL. I didn't have problems with GFL, but the problems that I have now with this trash place is crazy. Even even with, you know, like now, my trash outside is overflowing. You know why my trash is overflowing? Because they didn't pick it up Tuesday. You know why they didn't pick it up Tuesday? Because it was too close to the mailbox. It wasn't in the right place. Something you probably could have got out of the truck and fixed in less than 2 seconds. You decided not to pick up the trash. And then when I call, you know what you say? $35. But I've always also said, because of how tight these streets are and everything else, they need a walking trash sanitation person. It does not need to be a truck with the arm, because ask me how many of my neighbors don't have lids on their trash cans right now because that truck has destroyed their trash can, or they've had to get new containers because the truck has destroyed them. Yeah, most of my, a good portion of my neighbors, even myself, the lid is cracked or they don't have a lid on it anymore at all because it got broken off by the trash truck. But you want me to give them $105, a quarter. I also have something else renewing this month that's over $100 at the end of April anyway that I gotta come up with. And thank God I had a friend that helped me out, this week. Pure Angel, and sent me extra money so I can finish paying the bills for this month because I hadn't even finished paying the bills for March. Finally got them paid, and then I was able had a little money left over to get some groceries, get something to eat. I don't. It's just taxing. I hadn't even gotten into the topic today. I just been talking about what my life be like. It's gonna all tie into the topic. I just want to address those things before I post this video, so you don't ask the same questions over again. Because I think in the video I was clear, but obviously I'm not clear. But anywho, I'm finna get off this, and I'm really finna get in my topic and get through with this because I really don't want this topic to take long today. Let's see how many minutes into this podcast we in, because I feel like I've been talking for an hour and I probably have. No, only 35 minutes. Only been talking for 35 minutes. Okay. So, um, this topic has really been heavy on my mind. Really, really, really heavy on my mind. And now here comes Christian. I was literally trying to get this done before she woke up. I hope she's hey. Oh, 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 oh. I was really trying to get through my life before she woke up. I really was. I think I'm gonna make it through. This hopefully she stayed quiet. But if it get a little loud in the background, it ain't nobody but Christian giggling and stimming. And y'all shall be okay. But back to this topic, it's something that's really been on my mind as an educator, as just a person, as life has been in a whirlwind, and me and my looking at people like, huh? What? Things that have happened, the media cycle and its constant push to overwhelm people so you don't understand me, so you don't pay attention to what's actually going on, etc. So this has been on my mind. One of the things I keep hearing over and over again is people saying that's not what you said, or that's not what you meant, or you're taking this out of context, or you didn't understand the context. And I'm sitting here like, no, you really heard exactly what was said. They said XYZ ABC or whatever, and that was said, and I completely understand that was said. You just probably didn't like how it made you feel, or you just didn't understand it. And those are two completely different things. Now, I want to get into uh functional illiteracy versus your emotionality and not want to accept things the way they are. That's what we really about to talk about. Because sometimes y'all hear stuff and y'all interpret it differently because you don't want to hear it. It doesn't suit you. And sometimes it's just you really didn't understand. And we don't talk about how much of a struggle comprehension is, because everybody can read words. A lot of people can read words, but do they understand what they've read or they heard? And we get this even a lot with kids, especially when you're talking about kids that have like special needs and stuff. Well, I know my baby can read. My baby can read the words on a paper. And that's one thing we need to define what it actually means to know how to read. People think that recalling words on a paper is knowing how to read, and that's not knowing how to read. Knowing how to read means you can read the words on the paper and understand what it means. So there's a comprehension component to knowing how to read. So when we test for reading levels in school, we have various scales on how they read. How they read, which in the pace did they read the words, and how they answer the questions. So those two scales determine whether you determine your independent reading level and your guided reading level. So you have both in school. So your guided reading level is my instructional level. That's the level in which you understand. And it's a letter scale. It's a all the way up to Z. Um, is the way we grade it. So that. And so what we do, we time read, or we let you read how many words you read per minute. How was these words read? Was they slow? Were they paced? Were they fast? Etc. And how did you answer the 5 or so questions about the text you just read? And that's how we determine your reading level. And if you can read all the words on that paper and bomb all the questions, because you can only get one question wrong for it to be your instructional level. For you to be able to read it independently, you can't get any other questions wrong. And so, which is 80% is actually it's 93%. I have to go back and look at it. Is your once you get, let me just put it like this, because I'm not going to go find it right now. If you get one question wrong, because there's usually 5 questions on the test that we use to calculate literacy. If you get one wrong, that's the end of that. That's going to be your instructional level. If you get them all right, you're going to keep reading until we get to that one where you get the 1 or 2 wrong or whatever. And then we drop down, go up, drop down. There's a series of steps. That's how you calculate literacy. It don't matter how many words you got right or wrong that you read, because reading words is memory rehearsal. Understanding words or understanding what you read determines, did you understand? I can come up here all day, and we see this a lot in politics and the push in the media cycle right now. They just say stuff fast and blah 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 blah, and they think you're not catching it because they understand that a lot of the American public of adults are functionally illiterate. So that's why they say things the way they say it, or they move things around. And this is why you have a lot of people that try to argue context with people that actually comprehend, because there is no context when you say divisive words. Oh, you just took that out of context. No, babe. He said this. And I'm not going to mention where y'all think people take things out of context, because I'm going to tell you, I listen to everything they say before and after what they say. And then I make up whether they were telling a joke, or it was a literary device, or a device of figurative language, etc. But most of the time, with that person that y'all thinking about, that y'all know I'm talking about, they said exactly what they said. There was not a context to be found. What they said is what they said. Or like Nene said, I said what I said. There is no context. And a lot of people say that word has become, or that phrase has become catch and cliche, because a lot of people use that word to excuse bad behavior. Oh, you just took what I said out of context. No, babe, I didn't. You said and you meant, and that's the way it is. And in y'all heart of hearts, y'all know that's what it means. You just try to make people out like they stupid. And a lot of us, especially people like me, we're not stupid. This is why I tell people, especially when they want to argue politics, I'm not talking to you from telephone, the game of telephone, because this is allow a lot of people digest politics. I give you a point right now, a case and a point right now, the SAVE Act that they're trying to push through. A lot of people don't understand what's the hoopla. Oh, you just want people who don't have licenses to vote? No, that's not what I want. What do you want then? If you go read the bill in its context, in the words, and digest what it's understanding, the bill wants you to have ID that matches your birth name. That disenfranchises a lot of people. So if I get married, that means I can't vote unless I go find all of these documents. What do these documents mean? They want you to have a birth certificate or a passport that matches your name. I mean, your passport. If your passport doesn't match your name, then you got to go find your birth certificate. Your license don't match your name, they don't care, because people who have immigrant status can get a driver's license. So it has to be your passport or your birth certificate. The problem is that with a picture ID like your license, the problem is people get married and change their names all the time. The problem with that is that passports are not cheap. They're expensive. Super, super expensive. Birth certificates in some places aren't cheap either. And then it's the hassle of trying to figure out how to find it. Sometimes it's not easy. I know it wasn't until probably in the last, I don't know how long it was. I want to say it was even after Christian was born. You used to have to go back to the county. I'm sorry, the state database. I don't know when it changed. I really don't. It could have been before Christian was born. But I do know when I was around as a kid and needed a birth certificate, like I had to go to Atlanta because this is where I was born and get a birth certificate. Moving to a statewide database with birth certificates and vital records is fairly not even 20 years old, I don't believe, in the state of Georgia. So the amount of money is traveling to go, and it's still like that in a lot of places. I see this a lot of out of towners having to go and get birth certificates for different stuff and all of that. That's money spent. What if I don't have that money? I have a driver's license, and a lot of times I know here in Georgia they um they have they require your birth certificate and stuff to get a driver's license. So some people feel like driver's licenses should be up. If y'all want it to be like that, then driver's licenses need to be updated to signify whether what your immigration status is. Are you naturalized or are you an American citizen? But to me and to other people, it feels like the disenfranchisement of people and a poll tax. And if you really want to get into it, having to go get all that stuff just to vote is essentially a poll tax. Just because they don't call it a poll tax doesn't mean it's not a poll tax. You're telling me that I have to go buy a birth certificate if I don't have one, or go buy a passport that I don't have one, and I gotta go if my name isn't the same as it is when I was born. Now I gotta go buy extra paperwork because none of these forms are free. Um, to in order to vote, that means it's a poll tax, babe. It might not be going to the polls, but it's still a poll tax. I still got to pay something in order to vote. Everybody doesn't have those documents readily available on hand. So only people, especially the concern comes in when you have people that are older and now have to go find these documents, or people that are married and now have to go figure out how to put all of these together. But we also know that that was the whole point anyway. They've said several times they only want the man to have the deciding vote in the house because women are unstable and incapable of voting. That's the way they wanted to be. They wanted to go back to the olden days. When you hear some of these political groups and what they said, and I've made multiple TikToks and all of this about this, they say they want the United States to go back to the way it was when the Constitution was signed. Women didn't have rights, minorities didn't have rights, and anything else, because they feel like the country is a better place when only the majority have the rights to rule it. Because this is why you have certain creators that are pushing the pro majority birth boom. We have, and I'm not trying to say anything that's not already on the internet. If you don't know, you guys should go look. You have certain white creators that are making content telling other white people we need to have babies because we're losing ground. The minority are becoming the majority because white people aren't having babies anymore, and we need white babies. Please go have white babies. We have people that are pushing going from high school to getting a job to getting married, cutting out college altogether because they feel like college is what's making people not get married anymore or making white people the minority. I wish I was lying. I know. My black female 36 in the South wish she was lying. But these are some of the things that because they push the news cycle so fast that some of y'all are missing. And so you get with people like me and you feel like I'm being overreacting or something like this, or you feel like Congress right now, the government is shut down because Homeland Security isn't getting funded. When it's not about them getting funded, it's about the accountability piece, which is these are policies in every other police department. So if you want them to be law enforcement, then they should follow the policies of most law enforcement agencies in America. Follow these same policies. They only trying to get it to be the same, the accountability piece. But how many times in these 35 days I think we're up to now have Democrats and other people pushed a bill in front of them to get TSA and other workers like that paid in the midst of trying to negotiate? I think we're up to 7 or 8, and they've been blocked every time. But they don't tell you they part. The only thing you hear is this Democratic shutdown, that they're the reason why TSA is not getting paid. No, they're not. No, they're not, babe. No, they're not. But it's important for you to read context, go to the pages where you can actually read the documents, where you can see bills being introduced. Because when you have bills being introduced, you do know you can go to the website and read them yourselves. When I tell people don't argue a bill with me you haven't read all the way through, I'm not telling you to go listen to a content creator. I'm not telling you to go listen to the news. I'm telling you to go to the actual bill and read the bill. Don't read the this and then they said this over here and then this was a little said over here, or getting people to sum it up, even if they're neutral news sources. You need to go read it for yourself so you can get an understanding of what's saying. But that's a part of the American illiteracy crisis. Nobody wants to read things for themselves. They want things fast because we live in this fast, technologically packed society. So I just depend on what my neighbors say, and that's the final word. And that's what has a lot of people regretting the decisions that they've made in the past because you didn't read. You didn't read. You didn't want to listen to what anybody was saying because people were actually sitting online reading these documents to you, not making up words, had the actual document open and reading it. So now we have a great group of people that are in the find out stage, and they're getting upset because people are saying, well, it it said that right there. I read it. People are beginning to cycle up cycle up their old news feeds and videos from this time in like 2024 when they said this was going to happen, and everybody was like, oh no, that can't happen, that can't be true. Gee willikers. Mainstream media is meant to play on your comprehension and understanding. It's meant to be an emotional appeal. It's propaganda. That's all propaganda is. It's meant to get you on a bandwagon via your emotional appeal. So if you're not careful, you'll fall for anything. You don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I beg y'all to go read some of this stuff, get out of the news cycle, and actually go read the documents that people are talking about, especially bills that have high impact to your daily living. You should go read the bill on the actual Congress website, whether it's a House or a Senate bill, it'll tell you which one it is. And go read these things. Stop depending on the news to tell you what's going on, because you're not listening to stuff. And you have creators now that are coming out and saying, I've never seen this a day in my life. Why is this not played where I can see it? You don't, a lot of you don't understand is your algorithm is basically fixed to your taste of what you like, what you want to see, what you want to view, etc. It's not built, it's not built with um equality in mind. So if you um listen to Fox News and stuff like that, your algorithm is gonna probably be tailored around red pill media, Republican, strong Republican, very conservative. That's all you're gonna see. You're not gonna see the neutral, and you're not gonna see the left side. You're only gonna see that. And that's only gonna tell you what it wants it to tell you. And I'm not saying that all left media is right, because it's not. I'm saying the best way for you to be informed is to do your own research. You can eliminate a lot of the headache just by doing your own research. You don't need me to tell you anything. We live in a society where everything is information is readily available. You don't need anybody to tell you anything. Go read it and understand it for yourself. The Bible even tells us this, is y'all love to thump the Bible in people's face. It tells us two things. People perish for lack of knowledge. Three things. In everything get understanding, and to study to show your own self approved. And y'all fail with those three things every time. You don't want to read and go get your own understanding. You don't want to study, research, and show yourself approved. And I mean not talking to Chat GPT, because I've told y'all this Chat GPT is just what you put into it. It's what your Chat GPT is going to tell you. It's tailored to you. You need to get on these real websites and do scholarly, peer-reviewed research about certain topics. AI is not the fix for stupidity and idiotic. You're being an idiot. Can't even get the words out right this morning. You need to go and read up on these things on your own. I know it's time consuming. I know it sucks. I know we all have lives, etc. But we would save a lot of time if we went and did the work ourselves. We would save a lot of headache, a lot of, well, I didn't know, or it's not going to be that way if you would just read. It's right there. Everything doesn't have a context, a pretext, of this and that. Some things are simply on the paper, babe. Read it. don't let people tell you something that you can read yourself. As an adult, no one has to read Dr. Seuss to you, babe. You can read it yourself. And a lot of these bills are so in such plain language, like Dr. Seuss, that you should read it yourself. It's not hard to understand. It's just, do you want to or do you not want to? And that goes in a lot of different spaces in life. Is, do you really not understand, or do you not want to understand because it doesn't fit what you want to hear? Is, are you seeing the words, or are you really processing the meaning of what these words are saying? Because y'all are not listening. Where did this come from? Get it all the time. That's not what you said. Yes, it is what was said. That's exactly what was said. Or, that's not in the sentence. That's not in the message. I've said that. And I think a lot of it is to spew confusion, because we lived in a confused society. And you want to know what the root of that confusion is? It's just like I said, lack of comprehension. Comprehension, the biggest word. Comprehension. Do you understand what's being said to you? And even when it's not a comprehension issue, when you understood it perfectly, you don't like it. It's not what you wanted to hear, so you decided to auditorily process it a different way so it suits you. So now everything is, oh, that's not what it said, or you are offended or want to be argumentative and crazy, and then correction feels like it's being disrespect, or honesty feels like an attitude, or boundaries just feel like rejection, and your offense, I mean, me being in my truth, is offendable to you. Because you don't want to be truthful with yourself and say, hey, I didn't like what you said, or I don't disagree with what you said. You'll say, that's not what you said, or that's not what I said, or blah, blah, blah. Like, it just gets crazy. But it is what was said. You just wanted to rewrite what was said to suit what you want to say. So I want y'all to go back, and when y'all hear things and have misunderstandings, is it that you really didn't understand? Like, can you explain this to me further? Or is it, oh, I understand completely and fully what you said, I just didn't want to hear it, and I decided to reword it to suit my own self? And those are not the same. And I really want y'all to start running game on people like they are. Those are not the same. You don't like it? Oh, well, it's the truth. And if my truth is offensive to you, then I'm sorry. If the truth, period, is offensive to you, I'm sorry. We're seeing a lot of these apologists for the way they voted and stuff like that now in this political cycle. And it was like the information was available to you during the voting, but you put your emotions and feelings. And this is something I want to touch on real fast, really, really, really fast. I really want y'all to learn how to separate your emotions and politics. My values for voting the way I vote have nothing to do with my emotions. These are the things that I believe in life. These are the things that I believe that's right. And this is the political party, or this is the candidate that I feel closely resembles the things that I believe. It has nothing to do with emotion. It has nothing to do with my religious practices or preferences. These things need to happen in the world. These are the things that I believe that should happen in the world. And these are the candidates that closely resemble, or closely they are campaigning or talking about the things that I believe in. So this is why I'm voting for this person. It's not because of God, religion, shunning people, crucifying people. None of that. I have never gone into a booth and as a clergy person and voted for somebody because God told me to. Because God ain't told you to vote for nobody. I've never went in a booth and said, well, if I vote for this person, they're going to hell because God ain't told you to vote for nobody. Voting is free will. Oh, I know that's going to sting y'all just a little bit. Voting is free will. And a lot of y'all forget that God gave y'all that free will. Ain't nobody going to hell for who they voted for. I say this all the time when y'all get into these conversations about who y'all feel like going to heaven and hell. One, baby, you don't have a heaven or hell to put somebody in. A follower, a Christian literally means a follower of Christ. That is the literal definition of being a Christian. And the goalpost for being saved or receiving your salvation is very simple. It's Romans 10 and 9. Those that believe in their heart and confess with their mouth that Jesus is Lord shall be saved. That is it. The rest of it is your personal convictions or your reasons to bother somebody or be bothered by somebody that ain't bothering you, or a reason to be mean to people that ain't bothering you. Period. All of this, so if you do this, you're going to hell. Or if you do that, you're going to hell. If you vote for this person, you're going to hell. If you don't vote for that person, you're going to hell. If you do this, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Let me tell y'all something, babe. Neither one of y'all hold the Lamb's book of life and know who's going to heaven or who going to hell. Some of you don't even really understand the real concept or of heaven and hell to be trying to put people there. And I'm gonna tell you probably for a fact, the ones of y'all that think that y'all are going to heaven are probably going to hell. And vice versa. A follower of Christ follows Jesus. And I hadn't seen very many people live up to the red words in the Bible in a very long time. We are not going out making disciples, baptize them in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. We are not bearing each one of the burdens. We are not loving one another as Christ loved church. We ain't doing nothing but being foolish, sowing discord to be exact. One second. Let me fix this real fast. Let me fix this real fast with Christian K, because she has now gotten her recorder and thinks she's gonna blow it through uh my podcast. I'm back. Run up and down the stairs. Cause Lord have mercy, we're not blowing that recorder while I'm trying to work. Woo. And probably get some of y'all like, girl, she got a recorder. Yeah, I'm not even gonna tell you how she got it. Just know she got one. And Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So anywho, back what I was saying. Um, we ain't been living up to the standards of Christ anyway to be Christians. And it's very sad and it's very heartbreaking. And I've mentioned this on podcasts and TikToks before. It's very sad to watch people who have been in the ministry so long, who've grown up in ministry and everything, walk away because of how people are acting or misconstruing the Christian faith. I'm gonna tell you now, as somebody who is still clergy and yet hanging on, I don't like anything about it because I don't envision that this is what Christ really thought it was supposed to be. Like, I really don't know if some of y'all actually really know Christ. Do you really know the fundamental beliefs and attributes of Jesus Christ and what it means to be a Christian? Or are you just here to be condemning and condescending? Or is being a Christian a buzzword? But this is also where I fault a lot of pulpit leaders because we're not teaching Christ. We're not teaching the fruits of the Spirit. We're not teaching the parables. We're not teaching stuff like that. We want to be so deep and so crazy. We have one section of the church to where they're so caught up in right now, and this is what I see right now. You got one section of the church that's so wrapped up into politics that everybody else is going to hell that don't believe the way they believe. You got one end of the church that's wrapped up into performative prophecy, church politics, not world politics, and stuff like that, prophecy and everything else. And they're leading people astray and crazy, and a whole lot is going on over there because everybody want a platform and want to be popular and not wanting to preach Jesus, and anything else is everything else. And then you have this small slither of people that just want this authentic encounter with Christ and want people to know Christ, not through what a pastor or somebody else said, to authentically gain a relationship with Christ, who deconstruct from the performative religion, politics, who deconstructed from the harmful religious rhetoric and theology and everything, who really just want you to sit in the full knowledge of the coming of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And that's where I sit at. I don't have time. I'm going to tell y'all something, and I ain't trying to toot a horn or anything else. I can pray, I can preach, I can prophesy, I can move ministry through dance, implements, all the things. And you'll never see me trying to build a platform off of none of it. If I'm going to build a platform in Christianity, I'm going to build a platform telling y'all to tear it down. Forget about it. All these popular preachers and stuff, they don't want nothing but your money and the popularity. For them to be at home, cushioned, sleeping at night while you homeless and have nothing. You'll never hear me get online and talk about here's my offering plate because I've given you a prophecy or a word or anything. I don't even advertise that I can prophesy and stuff because I feel like those things are movement by the Spirit. And if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. You'll never see me form a line and talk about getting my line for a miracle. Let me lay hands on you and pray. I don't even lay hands on people and pray and stuff during altar calls, intercessions, and stuff like that until the Lord leads me to, because I understand it's not always my time. Some people have become literally obsessed with their gifts. Me, they're there when I need these. I don't have to boast, brag, or anything else. You don't really even see me going by my name in my name in ministry, which is Apostle QV. You don't even see me because simply, honestly, and truly, my name is really QV, and I'm here to serve. That's all, and I'm gonna serve well until I get out of here. I don't have to throw up what I've done and what I do for people, what I have, what I've accomplished, or anything else. I wasn't prayed over. I didn't have a mantle that passed down to me. I'm not trying to open up a bunch of churches and do all these whims, flips, and anything. I'm literally just trying to serve well. When it's my time to get out here, I just want to hear well done, thy good and faithful servant. Because that's what's gonna be said. I don't care about none of the rest of it. A lot of y'all have so much and everything else you got going on, and I don't care about none of it. I'm good on all of it. I love the Lord, but I love myself. And I love myself enough not to be caught up in foolishness. I am not in this faith to tear people down. I will simply walk away from people that are not doing admirable things in the kingdom. If you are sowing discourse and discord in the kingdom, I will walk away, and I need some of y'all to take heed to what I just said. I know how to disassociate myself, like what's her name? I Dream of Jeannie. Blink my eyes, flick my head, and I'm gone. And I've had to disassociate myself with a lot of people and back off of people because they aren't doing admirable things in the kingdom. God ain't pleased. And I'm not one that's going to make a fuss because a lot of you know you sowing discourse in discord, and that's what you like to do, but I'm not about that. And I'm not going to let you put my name and myself on any of it. I'll simply walk away. So a lot of people ask why I ain't. That's why I ain't. Do with that information what you want to do with it. So, with all that being said, I really want y'all to get to listening and comprehending and getting to information for your own self. Because it's really for your safety, your health, and your well being that you're informed. Do your own research. Stop being so apprehensive and crazy about everything. It's not about you. That's the primary thing I want y'all to understand in all of this. It's not about you. All you need to do is listen and comprehend and understand, babe, it's not about you. It's okay that people have boundaries. It's okay that people give you feedback, criticism. It's okay for people not to like the things that you like. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because it's really not about you. So the next time you decide to get up and be obtuse and crazy about something, you need to stop and ask yourself, did you really misunderstand it, or did you not like the way it made you feel what it was said? Because everything is not an attack, and everything is not disrespect, and everything is not taken out of context. Sometimes it's just the truth. And you need to realize that your reactions are everything. So take a minute, sit back, and respond well. And the last thing I'm going to say about this whole wooblah that I went on is just because something was offensive to you doesn't mean it was incorrect. Okay? Just because you didn't agree with it doesn't mean it was incorrect. There's no such thing as my truths and your truths. It's really just the truth. And was it the truth? The rest of it is your experience and my experience, okay? I know that's probably going to get me a whole lot of hate mail. And babe, I don't care. I'm going to move on away from that topic and we're going to roll into food. So I'm gonna tell y'all something I tried this week and I thought it was nasty. So I seen the viral like putting the white rice with like the beef consomme and the French onion soup with the butter and stuff. Yuck! No, thank you. I tried that this week. Not good. I did not like the way my rice tastes. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I didn't like that. I love French onion soup. It's my jam. But I didn't like anything about that rice. I'm good on that. It was not good. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm probably finna go catch Kamisha and get me a good Sunday dinner and stuff because she is out today. I think I'm about to ride to Harrison. I'm gonna make sure she's still out and get me something to eat or whatever. And that's that. Um let's see what else did I have this week. Is anything interesting I had this week? No, no, no. And I don't know what I'm gonna cook this week either. I just got me a little whole bunch of sandwich and quick stuff. I don't know. But I want me something good to eat, so I think I'm finna go down here and get me something to eat. Um, this is my shout out for the week. I want to shout out to the people that sold into me this week because a lot of people sold into me to make sure I had gas. Somebody bought me some food this week from my favorite restaurant because they was like, well, not necessarily my favorite restaurant, one of my favorite dishes. I should probably talk about it in food. Somebody bought me some oxtails this week, and it made me happy. So that's that. Um, People are really looking out for me, and I appreciate it, y'all. And it's gonna roll into my challenge. My challenge for everybody is I love y'all and everything, and I don't like asking for anything, but really, if you have $2 to sow into me this week into that GoFundMe for me to get this mortgage down, $2 might not seem like a lot, but that'll help me get this life paid off. $2. That's all I'm asking. It's $2. $2. I just want to stay in school and get my mortgage paid. That's all I want to do. I just want to do better. I just want to do better. That's all. That's it. That's all I want is to do better. So whether it be in my Cash App, my Venmo, or the GoFundMe, just $2. That's what I want. $2. $2 don't seem like a lot, but $2 adds up. And uh that's that. My words of encouragement is for you this week is for y'all to take a moment, just like I said at the beginning, have patience, be graceful, extend grace to people. I notice that I always say be kind, but y'all, we live in a very ugly society, and I've seen some people going through some horrible stuff, videos that I've seen of people because we live in this very nasty society. I just want y'all to be kind, be gracious, be grateful, be loving, be caring. It costs nothing to be kind. And I really want y'all to understand that it costs nothing to be kind. Be kind, be gracious. People are really going through things. I've seen so many people lose like vital pieces of their lives. People are dying all the time. People are burying their parents and their kids right now at rapid rates. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I don't care what your relationship was like. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So I just want y'all to be kind. Be kind. Be kind. Be loving. Be caring. Be compassionate. Find grace. Because the grace you extend is the grace you will get back. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to come a point in time where you're going to need the grace you wish you had, baby. That I know that's a word. I know it's a word. It's gonna come to a point in time. I will tell you in this life, as life is whooping my behind, I feel like the only reason why I got my head on straight is because I've been so gracious and graceful to people my whole life that grace is now being extended back to me, even though I'm hurting, I'm in pain. I don't know where sometime my next anything is coming from. I feel like God had took his hand off of me because I have been so gracious and so kind to people. So if you don't want to listen to nothing else I've said, please extend the grace to people that you want back because it's going to come a point in a time in your life that you're going to need the grace that you wish you extended to people. This world is reciprocal. The things you do, the seeds you sow, they come back. They come back. And I've had to watch some of the seeds I sowed sprout up. And I'm so grateful that I sowed those seeds when I had it. I see so many people hurting right now. And one of the things that hurt me right now is like I can't get my nonprofit working right now because I don't have money for my own life and house and stuff or whatever. And that's like another thing that's like killing me. And I try to stay quiet about the failure right now that Ed After Hours is in, because the founders of Ed After Hours and the actual officers of Ed After Hours, my officers, not just myself, like the people that help me run Ed After Hours are going through so much right now in their life that we can't do it right now. And it's another thing that hurts and that triggers me so bad that like here it is March again, and for the second year I'm probably not gonna have a teacher supply giveaway because I don't have money for my own personal life, that I can't raise school supplies and anything else to get anything else done. And it's been like hurting me so bad. So bad. Like y'all have no idea. It's so many things that I do throughout the year that I'm not able to do, like community initiatives, giveaways, etc., because I just don't have the money. I always join up, team up with people to feed people, to clothe people, to do outreach, to do everything, and I haven't been able to do those things, and it is crazy. It makes me so sad. It is just one dump after the other, y'all. So I promise you, I'm telling you, please be gracious. And yes, these are tears flowing because these are my realities and I hate facing them. Life shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this difficult, and it shouldn't be this crazy. Especially when I'm not just known here, I'm known everywhere. I have global friends. And I have people that I know in every corner of this earth, and I just feel like I shouldn't be struggling this hard. But I understand that everybody right now is struggling for the actions of people. Yeah, I'm gonna get off of that before I get very upset. Y'all, anything, I'm coming to an end. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna get this posted, and listen, if you can do and be anything in this world, be kind, be whole, be in peace and not in pieces. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all next week. I might have an exclusive. I don't know. I want to have an exclusive this week because I ain't talked to y'all midweek in a long time. So y'all pray that I get to be able to do an exclusive. All right, y'all. Bye.